Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let's get started with our Bhakti Vaibhava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's recite our verses after Mangalacharya. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sahavadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Śrīvāsadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Uddama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa vridavalokannihato madano piyasa sammoya chapamajahat pramadottamasta yasyendriyam vimathitum kuhakarna shekuhu bhavadvidha bhagavata stirthabhuta swayam vibho Tirthi kurvanti tirthani swantasthena gadabhrita Tulayamalavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kimutashishaha Tiraskrita vipralabdha shakta kshipta hatapi nasya tat prati kurvanti tadbhakta prabhavopihi punascha bhuyad bhagavatanante rati prasangascha tadashrayeshu mahatsuyamyam upayami shrishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dvijebhya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are reading from Grandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, text 37 onwards, describing Lord Krishna's entrance in Dwarka. We saw how Krishna was controlled by the love of his queens in Dwarka, headed by Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama Devi, Kalindi, Jambavati, etc. Krishna was not attracted by their physical beauty or by their feminine charm, but Krishna was attracted and controlled by their pure devotion. Text 37. Srila Sutta Goswami is describing to the sages at Naimisharanya. Tam ayam manyate loko hyasangam api sanginam atmaupamyena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya Nityalela Pravishtha Om Vishnupad Śrīmad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Translation: the common materialistic conditioned souls speculate that Lord Krishna is one of them. Out of their ignorance, they think that Krishna is affected by matter, although he is unattached. So, foolish people consider that Krishna is just like us. He is human being and he is affected by material nature. They think like this, yata abudhaha, because they are foolish. Purport: the word abudhaha is significant here. Abudha, ignorance. Due to ignorance only, the foolish mundane wranglers means one who argues, understand the Supreme Lord. They misunderstand the Supreme Lord. They are not able to understand the Supreme Lord. Mudoham nabhijanati, Krishna says. So these abudha people, foolish people, they keep wrangling, they keep arguing, and they misunderstand the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada writes further, the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, is the original primeval personality of Godhead, Sat Chidananda Vigraha, Ishvara Parama Krishna. And Krishna displayed full-fledged divine potency in every field of activities. Krishna is completely independent, Swarat, as described in the first verse of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. His actions are full of bliss, knowledge, and eternity. That is Krishna's nature. He is Satchidananda Vigraha, and all his actions, all his leelas are also Satchidananda Vigraha. Only the foolish mundaners misunderstand Krishna, unaware of his eternal form of knowledge and bliss, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Only the foolish mundaners misunderstand him, unaware of his eternal form of knowledge and bliss. When he comes in a human form, the foolish people, they misunderstand Krishna. Which verse of Bhagavad Gita is this? Raise your hand if you can tell. If you are paying attention, you will know. Yes, Ajay Govinda.
In the 9th chapter, where Krishna says, Abjananti Nam Moda, foolish deride me as, human.
Yes, when I appear in a human-like form. Very good. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto. Krishna is saying, unaware of the eternal form of knowledge and bliss. Param bhavam ajananto. Next verse, verse number 38. Etad ishanam ishasya prakritistho pitad gunaihi na yujjate sadatmasthair yatha buddhis tadashraya. Translation: this is the divinity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he is not affected by the qualities of material nature. He is not affected. Na yujjate. Prakriti. Krishna is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees, even the devotees who have taken shelter of Krishna, do not become influenced by the material qualities. Even the devotees who take shelter of Krishna, Krishna is gunatit, he is beyond the modes of material nature. And those devotees who take shelter of Krishna, they also become free from the material influence. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa gunan samatitayatan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. In Narad Bhakti Sutra also, Śrīmad Narad Muni says, Satarati sa lokan tarayati. Those who are pure devotees of Krishna, in Narad Bhakti Sutra, Śrīmad Narad Muni writes, Satarati, twice he repeats. Definitely he will be released from material existence. Definitely he will be released from material existence. Definitely he will get liberation. Definitely he will get liberation. Satarati. Sa lokan tarayati. Not only the devotee is released from Maya, but the devotee has the power to release others from Maya. Sa lokan tarayati. Śrīmad Narad Muni says. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. One who in a very fixed, focused way serves Krishna always. Sa gunan samatitayatan. Goes beyond the modes of material nature. But the fools think that Krishna is also under the control of the modes of material nature. But Srila Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is gunati. Krishna is beyond the modes of material nature. The material modes of nature are under Krishna's control. Krishna is beyond them. But still, to reciprocate with his devotees, he appears in various forms to reciprocate with them. The devotees appreciate such forms as more dear to them than their own life. Whereas the demoniac people, they make fun of these forms of Krishna. So here it is said that Krishna, although is in touch with the material modes, he is beyond the qualities of material nature, and even his devotees who take shelter cross over material nature. Daiviyesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya. But mam evaya prapadyante maya metam taranti. Purport. In the Vedas, Shruti and Smriti, it is confirmed that the divinity means Krishna, there is nothing material for Krishna. Krishna is transcendental, he is nirguna. Guna means material modes. Krishna is nirguna. Personality of Godhead Krishna is never in contact with the qualities of material nature in any circumstance. Actually, he is in contact with such qualities because he is the ultimate source of everything. Yet he is above the actions of such qualities. So Krishna has created these rules, regulations, Prakriti. Krishna has created the Vedas, Vedanta Krit, Veda Vedavachaham. So everything Krishna is giving us. Krishna is giving us the water, the air, everything. But that does not mean that Krishna is under the rules of this material world. Krishna has created these rules. Krishna has created the material world. Krishna has created us. Krishna has created the Vedas. But that doesn't mean at any time that Krishna is under the control of nature. It is not like that. Krishna is created, but he is not under them. Example can be given when an author writes a book or a novel. So the author may describe different things in that novel, but those things cannot bind the author. The author is beyond. Example can be given, J.K. Rowling. Which book did she write? Harry Potter. You don't have to memorize this. Not required. This is avidya. But J.K. Rowling wrote the books of Harry Potter. Now in Harry Potter, there are many rules, many spells. In that school also, school where they learn magic, there are rules. Those rules may apply to Harry Potter, may apply to Harry Potter friends and other people also who are not friends. But do those rules apply to J.K. Rowling? Does she have to live by those rules? No. She has created that whole world of Harry Potter, but those rules of Harry Potter don't apply to her, J.K. Rowling. She has created, but she is beyond them. Similarly, Krishna has created this world, and Krishna has created many rules within this world. After winter, there will be spring. After spring, there will be summer. After summer, there will be fall. All these rules Krishna has created. But do these rules apply to Krishna? No. Krishna has created, but Krishna is beyond them. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. The devotees are not affected by the influence of the material modes, Prabhupada says. And he gives example of the 6 great Goswamis of Vrindavan. They all came from rich and aristocratic families, well-to-do families. But they adopted the life of mendicants in Vrindavan, bhikshuk. Superficially, they appeared to be in wretched condition of life. But factually, they were the richest of all in spiritual values. This is very important. They came from rich families, but they gave up everything. Tyaktva turnam ashesha mandalapati shrenim sada tuchchavat. Bhutva dina ganesha kau karunaya kaupina kanthashrito. Gopi bhava rasamrita abdhilahari kallola magno muhur. Vande rupa sanatana raghuyuga Shri Jiva Gopalaka. Tyaktva turnam. Very quickly they gave up all their opulence, even though they were mandalapati. Considering material wealth, material prestige, material qualifications, gold, jewels to be tuchha. Absolutely tuchha. And they took the life of mendicants in Vrindavan. This is the nature of devotees. This is the nature of the devotees, pure devotees. They are not interested in material things. They are only interested in Krishna consciousness. In Bhaktamal, there is a story of Sant Namdev. Sant Namdev is a very well-known personality. In Maharashtra, at least he is very well known. Tukaram Maharaj, Namdev Maharaj, they are very famous. So Sant Namdev, he was a great devotee. Someday we can talk about him. It's a whole 2-hour discussion, just Sant Namdev, very great devotee. But Sant Namdev, in his village, there lived another Mahabhagavat, another great devotee. And they were husband-wife, grihasthas. The husband's name was Chokhamaya. Many of you might have heard. So, Chokhamaya was very, very materially very poor. He did not have any facilities, no money, no things. But he was always very happy, always chanting Vitthala, 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 always chanting the names of Krishna, always chanting Harinam, absorbed. But Sant Namdev, being a pure devotee, a Vaishnava is Paradukha Dukhi. And Sant Namdev used to speak with Lord Vitthal. Krishna would speak to him, speak to Sant Namdev. So Sant Namdev spoke to Krishna and prayed that here your devotee is there, Chokhamaya, and he has no facilities. Please, can you help him? I cannot bear to see him struggle like this with no money. So Lord Vitthal asked Sant Namdev, what should we do? So Sant Namdev said, let's give some jewelry to them so that they can sell the jewelry, get some money, and then for many days they will have no financial worries. A very simple fellow, they will just probably buy some rice and some dal with that money, and at least they will have food to eat. Right now they have nothing. Chokhamaya has nothing. So then Vitthal tells Sant Namdev, okay, let's go. This Chokhamaya and his wife, they will be going from the road, and both of us will go and we'll put some jewels on the road. I will give my jewels. Vitthal says, I will give my jewels. And they can pick up and they can use. So Sant Namdev says, very good idea. So Sant Namdev and Lord Vitthal, they are stalking Chokhamaya and his wife as they're walking. So they go ahead of them, and right on the middle of the road, they put some precious jewels and they hide behind trees. And Lord Vitthal tells Sant Namdev that I don't think Chokhamaya and his wife will accept this. They are too absorbed in my love. They don't care about these material things. Shrenim Sada Tuchchavat, like the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So Sant Namdev said, but at least we have to try. So then Chokhamaya and his wife were walking. Chokhamaya was walking little ahead. His wife was walking little behind him. And he saw the jewels on the road. And in his mind, he thought, if my wife sees these jewels, maybe she'll be tempted. And then our bhajan will get spoiled. Wherever there is Kanaka, Kamini, Kirti. Kanaka is gold, Kamini is sense gratification, and Kirti is prestige. Whenever there are these 3 things, money, women, and prestige. There cannot be bhajan. So Chokha was thinking like this, and he thought my wife should not see this. So as he was walking with his feet, he pushed some dust on those jewels, so that all those jewels in the middle of the road will get covered with dust. So then his wife came from behind and she asked Sokhamela, my dear Patidev, why are you putting mud on mud? Why are you putting mud on mud? That gold and those jewels are like mud. What is it? It is coming from earth only. You are putting earth on earth. What are you doing? Come on, let's go. Let's go. The wife tells Sokhamela, and Sokhamela is very happy. This is a Vaishnavi. So then Sant Namdev is scratching his head. What to do? How to give? How to serve him? He is not taking jewels, gold. So how does he manage his livelihood? Well, Sokhamela goes to the forest, and whatever dry branches and twigs fall from trees, dry sticks, he collects those dry sticks from the forest, and every 2-3 days, so he fasts. He's just chanting Vitthal, Vitthal, Vitthal whole day, whole night. After 2-3 days, when they think, okay, now there is some hunger, so they just pick up some dry sticks from the forest, they bring it to the town, they sell it at whatever fair price is there, and with that money they buy some grains and they manage. This is Jivika. This is how they manage their livelihood. So Sant Namdev tells Vitthal, let us both go in the forest and we will collect piles of dry sticks for Sokhamela, and we'll tie them up nicely and we'll keep stacks of dry sticks. So tomorrow when they come to the forest to find dry sticks, they will find a lot of them. And then they don't have to search in the forest for dry sticks. They can just pick up those bundles and they can go and sell. So we'll make life easy because they are not accepting gold and jewels. At least let's do this menial service for them. This they will not refuse. Lord Vitthal says, no, you don't know my devotee, Namdev. You don't know Sokhamela, how advanced he is. He will not even accept the dry sticks. You will see. So Sant Namdev says, no, but let's try. So they go and they prepare nice stacks of dry sticks ready for them. All they have to do is just pick them up and take them to the market. So Sokhamela and his wife are coming and they see all these stacks of dry sticks nicely tied up for them. So Sokhamela tells his wife, it seems like there is someone who is even poorer than us, who is in greater need of money than us. Look, he has taken the trouble of entering the deep forest, finding all these dry sticks throughout the forest, and they have collected bundles. They must be really in need of money. So my dear wife, I think for a few days we should not enter the forest. We should just fast, because there are people who are poorer than us. See, they're collecting sticks. So let's just go and continue our bhajan. So then the wife says, yes, very good. Let's go and do bhajan. So they go back. So again, Sant Namdev is saying, so this is the nature of a pure devotee. They are not after Kanaka Kamini Kirti. They are not after money. They are not after sensual gratification. And they are not after prestige and glorification. They are akinchan. So the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they superficially, Srila Prabhupada is writing, they became mendicants, and superficially they appeared to be in a wretched condition of life. See, even Sokhamela appeared to be wretched condition of life. Sudama also wretched condition of life. Kolavesha Śrīdhar also wretched condition of life. All night Śrīdhar, Kolavesha Śrīdhar used to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And the neighbors used to get so angry. Why is he loudly chanting? Oh, he's chanting loudly because he's hungry. He's hungry, that's why he's chanting. So they would come in the middle of the night and throw a roti at Kolavesha Śrīdhar. Here, eat this and keep your mouth shut now. Stop chanting. This is how they would treat him. But a devotee is not after Pratishtha, Kirti. A devotee is not after Kanaka Kamini. Why? Because the devotee is getting supreme bliss from chanting Harinam, from Bhakti. So superficially they appeared to be in a wretched condition of life, but factually they were the richest of all. They were the richest of all. Prabhupada says. Actually, they were the richest of all. Because they have the wealth of Krishna consciousness. They have the wealth of Krishna consciousness. In spiritual values, they were the richest. Srila Prabhupada writes, such Mahabhagavats or first great devotees, although moving amongst men, are not contaminated by honor or insult, hunger or satisfaction, by sleep or wakefulness, which are all resultant actions of the three modes of material nature. All these dualities don't affect. You all know what is duality. Similarly, some of them are engaged in worldly dealings, yet they are unaffected. Some of them are engaged in worldly dealings, but still they are unaffected. You remember from Bhaktamal, we had discussed the story of Sadan Kasai. You remember? How many of you remember? Raise your hand. Sadan Kasai. So Kirta Sundari Mataji remembers Pari Mataji. So he was a Kasai. He was a butcher in the family of a butcher, but he never butchered animals. He would go to the Kattal Khana and he would bring some meat and simply sell it. Always chanting for his Shaligram Shila, the holy names. So like that, sometimes a devotee may be in an awkward situation, maybe in an apparently sinful situation, sinful profession also. Few sessions ago, remember Srila Prabhupada was writing, giving the example of prostitutes. Sometimes by the quirk of fate, somebody may be in a business like prostitution. But Prabhupada wrote in the purport that sometimes there are even some prostitutes who have been very great devotees of Krishna. So our job is not to judge. We should not become like that. We follow what our Guru, our sadhus, and our Shastra is telling us to do. We follow what Krishna is telling us to do. But we also have the broad-mindedness of understanding that sometimes a devotee may be born in a family which is abominable, like Haridas Thakur, or maybe in a profession temporarily, which may not be the purest of profession. But that does not diminish the value of the devotee. Srila Prabhupada says, the devotees of Krishna are always transcendental, even if they are sometimes found to have fallen in their behavior. The Lord emphatically declares in Bhagavad Gita 9.30 that even if unalloyed devotee is found to be fallen due to previous material contamination, he is nevertheless to be accepted as fully transcendental because he is engaged in devotional service, 100%. Sadhu reva samantavyam. You should consider him a sadhu. Srila Prabhupada further writes, Krishna protects that devotee always because of his rendering service to him. So the devotee may be doing something abominable, the devotee may be engaged in some sinful activities, but because he is an Ananya Bhakta of Krishna, he is an exclusive devotee of Krishna, he is not taking shelter of any other demigod or demigoddess or any other path other than Bhakti. He is chanting Harinam. That devotee will become cured. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Very soon he will become a dharmatma. So if a patient is sick, but is taking the right medicine, it is guaranteed in due course of time that patient will become cured. Isn't it? So similarly, a devotee who is chanting Harinam, Harinam Aushadhi, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, it's the best medicine. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best Vaidya, as described by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He calls Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Vaidya, the supreme doctor. So as long as we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra given by the supreme doctor, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we may have bad habits, we may sometimes fall down, but as long as we are chanting Hare Krishna, Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma, very soon we will become Dharmatma because we are taking the right medicine. Yes, we have fever, yes, our blood reports are abnormal, but the treatment is correct. The treatment is perfect. Very soon everything will become normal. Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma. Krishna protects the devotee always because of his rendering service unto him. And the fallen conditions are to be considered accidental and temporary. They will vanish in no time. Yes, these bad habits will vanish in no time. We just have to keep chanting Hare Krishna and remain under the shelter of Krishna. Text 39. Tamme nireya bala mudha Strayanam chanuvritam raha apramana vido bhartur ishwaram matayo yatha. Translation: the simple and delicate women truly thought that Lord Krishna, their beloved husband, followed them and was dominated by them. Please read carefully. Please listen carefully. The Dwarka queens are thinking that Krishna is dominated by them and Krishna is following them everywhere. They were unaware of the extent of the glories of their husband, Krishna. How they were unaware? Just as the atheists are unaware of Krishna as a supreme controller. So we just discussed that verse. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum ashritam. So the fools, atheists, they also don't know Krishna's power. Param bhavam ajananti. Here, Srila Suta Goswami is saying that the queens of Dwarka also did not know Krishna's greatness because they just considered him their husband. Just as the atheist doesn't know Krishna, even a pure devotee doesn't know Krishna. Atheist doesn't know Krishna because of lack of knowledge. A devotee does not know Krishna even though the devotee has knowledge. Jnanam chayad vairagyam ahetukam. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Asu Vairagya Jnanam Chayad Ahetukam. Vairagya and Jnan are both sahaj, very easily. It is there in the devotee. Janayati Ashu, very quickly. Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahetukam. The devotee has Jnan and Vairagya both. But the devotee does not know Krishna even though the devotee has Divya Jnan. Why? Because love overtakes the knowledge. Love clouds the knowledge. That's why the devotee doesn't know Krishna. But a non-devotee doesn't know Krishna because he's clouded over by Mahamaya, the illusory energy. That is a difference. So the queens of Dwarka, largely, they were unaware of Krishna as a supreme controller. Now, the purport and the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is very nice on this verse. Purport: even the transcendental wives of Lord Shri Krishna did not know completely the unfathomable glories of the Lord. See, this book we are referring to, the Saratha Darshana Tika of Srila Jiva Goswami, of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Kramasandharma I am not able to read so much, but Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Saratha Darshana Tika I am reading. But I am not separately telling all of you what is said because Srila Prabhupada's purports are largely based on Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So it's all covered. So even the transcendental wives of Lord Krishna did not know completely the unfathomable glories of Lord Krishna. This ignorance is not mundane. See, Prabhupada is clarifying. Atheists don't know Krishna because of lack of knowledge. But the queens of Dwarka don't know because of overwhelming love. This ignorance of the Dwarka queens is not mundane because there is some action of the internal potency of Krishna in the exchange of feelings between him and his eternal associates. It is because of internal potency, Yoga Maya, that they are apparently unaware of Krishna's greatness, that he is the Supreme Lord. Further down, Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna plays exactly like an equal friend with the cowherd boys. He plays exactly like a son in the presence of Yashoda Maiya. So, somebody has a Sakhya relation with Krishna, Krishna will behave Sakhya. Somebody has a Vatsalya relationship with Krishna, Krishna will behave like a child. And someone has a Madhurya Rasa with Krishna, conjugal love, Krishna will be the best lover. And Krishna plays exactly like a lover in the presence of the cowherd damsels, the Braj Gopis. And he plays exactly like a husband in the presence of the queens of Dwarka. See how Krishna is reciprocating with different relationships. When Krishna descends in this world, he does so along with his entourage, Sangopangastra Parshadam, to display a complete picture of the transcendental world. If Krishna came alone, then we will not get a glimpse of spiritual world, isn't it? But 5,000 years ago, Krishna came. 500 years ago, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. And they came with their associates and their abode. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kori. Swaparshada Swiyadhama Saha Avatari. Swaparshada Swiyadhama Saha Avatari. He came with his associates and with his holy abode, Shri Navadvip Dham, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? Jive Doya Kori. To show compassion to us, so that we can see the full picture of the spiritual world and we get attracted and we develop a longing. I want to go to the spiritual world. I want to go to the spiritual world. Why? Because in the spiritual world, there is pure love and devotion for Krishna. Prabhupada writes, in the transcendental world, where pure love and devotion for Krishna prevails. And there is nothing mundane there in the spiritual world. The wives of Lord Krishna were made to forget the immeasurable glories of Lord Krishna by the internal potency. Why they were made to forget by internal potency? So that there might not be any flaw of exchange. Because if the queens constantly know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, then how they can treat him like a husband? How Satyabhama can say, I want a Parijat tree? Why Rukmini Devi will get worried that Krishna will, in Tuladan, Narad Muni will take him away? Why she will be anxious? She will not be anxious. If she knew that he is Bhagwan, then whatever you do, Krishna, you are Bhagwan. What can we say? But because he is playing the role of a pati, a husband, now he has to go for a war because his friends are at war with Arjun and Yudhishthira. He has to go fight a war. He has to stay with them in Hastinapur for so many months. Then he has to travel back. Everything Krishna is doing like an ordinary man. And the queens are also taking him to be just my husband. Who is Krishna? He is my husband. That's all. This is happening because Srila Prabhupada says, so that there might not be any flaw of exchange of rasa. For the Leela to take place where Krishna is Dwarkadhish and he is the loving husband to his wives, they have to forget his godhood. Otherwise, why Krishna is sitting in meditation in Brahma Muhurta, doing puja, doing dhyan, doing archana, finding a suitable match for his kids to get married to? Why Krishna will do all these things if he is Bhagwan? So, for the sake of rasa, for the sake of Leela, the wives have to forget that Krishna is Bhagwan. So see, the one may argue, in Vrindavan they don't know that Krishna is Bhagwan. But here we are saying, even in Dwarka they don't know that Krishna is Bhagwan. So yes, it is there. But still in Dwarka, there is more awe and reverence. Because he is the king, he is the husband, he has created Dwarka, he is giving orders, commands. So in Dwarka also there is sweetness. But there is little more Aishwarya than sweetness. But in Vrindavan, it is just sweetness. Nobody listens to Krishna. His parents don't listen to him. His friends don't listen to him. Radharani doesn't listen to him. Nobody listens to him. Krishna. So that is a difference. There's only Madhurya Prem in Vrindavan. Sweetness of rasa. There is no Aishwarya. इतना भी ऐश्वर्य नहीं है वृंदावन में कि राधा और कृष्ण का विवाह हुआ है. Normally, a Nayak and Nayika, they get married. But in Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna are not even married. See, there is absolutely no Aishwarya in Vrindavan. Because to get married, people have to listen to you. I want to marry Radharani. Okay, we'll get you married. पर भगवान को उतना भी कोई सुनता नहीं है वृंदावन में. Radharani is married to Ayan Ghosh or Abhimanyu. And Krishna is not married. So they are not even married to each other in Vrindavan. Because being married means there is Swakya Bhava, there is some Aishwarya, because you are always together. But Radha and Krishna don't even have that luxury of being together always, you see. So in Vrindavan, there is no Aishwarya. There is no majesty or reverence. It's just sweetness. They are just like Lala and Lali, Radha and Krishna. Just like a cowherd boy and a cowherd girl. Nothing more, nothing less. That is Vrindavan Dham, the sweetest of all abodes. So because the wives of Krishna in Dwarka, the queens forgot that Krishna is Bhagwan under the influence of the internal potency, the Leela Shakti, they took it for granted that Krishna was a henpecked husband. Always following them in lonely places. See? This is how they thought. The dealings of Krishna with his wives, last sentence, the dealings of Krishna with his wives are based on pure transcendental love and devotion. The wives are all on the transcendental plane without material contamination. We should not think that this is like ordinary story of a husband and wife. No. This is all happening on pure transcendental plane. Many years and years of tapasya these ladies have done. That's why they have finally got Krishna as their husband. They are very great devotees. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports, the first canto, 11th chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, entitled Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. Chapter 12, Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Birth of Emperor Parikshit. Birth of Parikshit Maharaj. Text 1. Shaunaka Uvacha. Ashwathamno Prasrishtena Brahma Shirshno Rutejasa Uttaraya Hato Garbha Ishena Jivita Punaha. So Uttaraya refers to the son of Uttara Devi, that is Parikshit Maharaj. So now what is happening in this chapter? We are going to hear about the birth of Emperor Parikshit Maharaj. Very beautiful chapter. So in text 1, Shaunak Rishi is asking question to Srila Suta Goswami. It begins with the enquiry. What is the question? The womb of Uttara, mother of Maharaj Parikshit, was spoiled by the dreadful and invincible Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama na upasreshtena Brahma Shirshna. The Brahmastra weapon. It spoiled the womb of Uttara, where Maharaj Parikshit was an embryo. But Maharaj Parikshit was saved by the Supreme Lord, Ishwar, Isha. Uttaraya Hato Garbha. Actually, Hata means killed. Parikshit Maharaj was killed by the Brahmastra. But Ajivitaha, he was brought back to life. Jivitaha, Ajivitaha means brought to life in a verb form. Punaha, again, means he was dead. He was brought back to life. Ajivitaha Punaha. Who? Ishena. He was brought back by Isha, Krishna, Supreme Lord. So Shaunak Rishi is saying that Ashwatthama with his Brahmastra had killed Maharaj Parikshit in the womb of his mother Uttara, but he was saved by the Supreme Lord. Text 2. Tasya janma mahabuddhe karmani cha mahatmanaha nidhanam cha yathai vasit sa pretya gatavan yatha. Shri Shaunak Rishi is asking Srila Suta Goswami, how was the great Emperor Parikshit, who was a highly intelligent and great devotee, born in that womb? How did his death take place? And what did he achieve after his death? They are asking about Maharaj Parikshit's birth and his death. See, in one verse, they are asking about his birth, his activities, and his death. Thus, first line is birth. Tasya janma mahabuddhe. Karmani cha mahatmana. What was his karma? What was his janma? What was his karma? And nidhanam cha tathai vasit. And how was his death? They want to know about his birth, they want to know about his activities, and they want to know about his death. Please remember, my dear friends, Parikshit Maharaj was glorious in his birth, in his activities, and in his death. Birth was glorious because he had darshan sakshat of Krishna in the womb of his mother. Vishnu, Rat. He was protected by Lord Vishnu in the womb. That's birth. His activities were glorious because he was blessed by great devotees like Arjun and Yudhishthira Maharaj. And he was the emperor of the world. Even Kali could not enter the kingdom. Such was the powerful rule of Parikshit Maharaj. So his life, his activities, karma was glorious. And his death, 7 days, 7 nights, he is listening to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam from none other than Shri Shukdev Goswami. What a fortune, what a fortune. The crest jewel of all Vedic literature, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Pramanam Amalam. Mahaprabhu's favorite book, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, is a conversation between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami. Just see the exalted death of Parikshit Maharaj. So his birth was glorious, life was glorious, and death was glorious. Like Srila Prabhupada. Born to a pure devotee, Gaur Mohan Dev, from his childhood he is doing Jagannath Rath Yatra. Father is saying, please bless him to become a devotee of Radharani. Born in a Vaishnava family, coming in the line of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, our Prabhupada. His whole life was glorious, initiated at a young age by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Wrote Back to God magazine as a Grahastha, translated Bhagavad Gita as a Grahastha, took Vanaprastha, took sannyas, traveled, built 108 temples all over the world, spread Krishna consciousness, Mahaprabhu Senapati Bhakta. And death is also glorious. Activities are glorious, and death is also glorious. Came back to Shri Vrindavan Dham, stayed there for several months, and in the holy month of Kartik, surrounded by devotees chanting Harinam, he himself chanting Harinam, translating Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10th Canto, in the auspicious month of Kartik, in Vrindavan Dham, Srila Prabhupada left. How glorious is it? So like Parikshit Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada also is glorious. Another reflection of our acharyas, this is not in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, but it is the reflection of our acharyas. Very sweet. Please listen carefully with an open heart. Listen. Why is Prahlad Maharaj glorious? Raise your hand. Why is Prahlad Maharaj glorious? I'll give a hint. Because he made Lord Narasimhadev appear. Correct? Everybody agrees? Prahlad Maharaj is glorious because he made Lord Narasimhadev appear. Why is Satyavrat Muni glorious? Satyavrat Maharaj, Satyavrat Muni. Because he made Lord Matsyadev appear. Why is Bali Maharaj glorious? Because he made Lord Vamanadev appear. So all these great devotees are glorified because they make the Lord incarnation appear, Lord's incarnation appear. I've heard this from Radhika Raman Prabhu, one of the brahmacharis at Govardhanaka village. In his Bhakti Vaibhava class, he taught this point, very highlighted very much. Prabhuji said, but Parikshit Maharaj is so glorious that Parikshit Maharaj alone made all the Dasha avatars appear through the mouth of Shukdev Goswami in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So beautiful. So Parikshit Maharaj's life is very glorious. Therefore, the sages want to hear about his birth, life, and death. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, the king of Hastinapur, which is now New Delhi, used to be the emperor of the world, at least till the time of the son of Emperor Parikshit. Further, unfortunately, by the instigation of the fallen age of Kali, an unfortunate Brahmana's son was employed to condemn the innocent Maharaj Parikshit. And so the king, Parikshit, had to prepare himself for death within 7 days. Please listen very carefully. It's a very brilliant purport Srila Prabhupada has written. Within 7 days, he had to prepare for death. Maharaj Parikshit is especially famous as one who is protected by Vishnu. Vishnu, Rat. And when Parikshit Maharaj was unduly cursed by a Brahmana's son, Shringi, he could have invoked the mercy of Krishna to save him. But Parikshit Maharaj did not want to because he was a pure devotee. A pure devotee never asks Krishna for any undue favor. This is a very important point. We should not ask Krishna for undue favors just because we are devotees. Small things. Krishna, aisa kar do, Krishna, aisa kar do, ye kar do, wo kar do. These small things we should not ask Krishna. It's not good. It is not the path of a pure devotee. We may do akama sarva kama va moksha kama udardi tivrena bhakti yogena yeta purusha param. That is there. That siddhanta also is there. But the path of pure devotion is na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kama. A pure devotee never asks Krishna for any undue favor. Maharaj Parikshit knew that the curse of the Brahmana's son upon him was unjustified, as everyone else knew. But he did not want to counteract the curse because he knew also that the age of Kali had begun and that the first symptom of Kali Yuga was degradation of the highly talented Brahman community, which had already begun. Otherwise, why will a Brahman curse the king like this for such a small mistake? Did Parishit Maharaj make a mistake? Yes or no? शमिक ऋषि के प्रति कोई अपराध किया था क्या? यस, अमृत गौरा की माता जी. You can unmute her.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. So according to my understanding, Prabhu, I think Parishit Maharaj did not make a mistake because being born into such great devotees family, it was the will of Lord, and he arranged that for the pastime to happen where Bhagavatam will be.
You're absolutely right, Amrit Gaurang Mataji. Absolutely correct. But Shaunak Rishi, but Shamik Rishi and Shringi did not know that. That was Krishna's will. They just know that the king came, he was thirsty, he was offended because he was not given water, he took a dead snake and put it around my father's neck. So was that an aparad? Anybody? Any guess? Was Parishit Maharaj at fault? Was he aparadhi? Yes, Shama Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam. Yes, my understanding is that it was a mistake.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely a mistake. How can you put a dead snake around a sadhu? A king is supposed to worship the sadhus. So that was definitely a mistake. But it would have been a big aparad and big mistake if it was a live snake. That would have been really bad aparad. But this was definitely that's not how you treat a sadhu. So it was definitely an offense, but it was not an offense for which Parishit Maharaj should have been given the death penalty. You die now. Takshak will bite you. You will die in 7 days. That punishment by Shringi was undue, unfair, unjust, and childish to curse like that. It was unnecessary. If there is a... So, my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, once somebody had made a mistake and the management met, they discussed that mistake and they came with a solution that isko ban kar do. Just ban this devotee. And Maharaj strongly disagreed. Maharaj said, if there is a cockroach in the room and you want to drive out the cockroach, you don't enter the room with the AK-47 and start shooting. Cut, 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 cut. No. The punishment should be according to the mistake. Small mistake, small punishment. Big mistake, big punishment. Parishit Maharaj made a mistake. Parishit Maharaj committed an aparad against the sadhu, Shamik Rishi, no doubt about it. We should not put a dead snake around a sadhu who is absorbed in tapasya, absorbed in meditation. That's not the right thing to do. It was a mistake, but it was a small mistake. And it was a mistake made under the pressure of thirst and hunger and frustration. And one has to see the complete track record of Parishit Maharaj. His complete track record was very beautiful. He had an unblemished track record as a king. Never did any corruption, never did anything unjust, never did anything against the principles of dharma. So when such a person appears to be committing a mistake, we should give benefit of doubt and we should talk to the person first. Why you did this? Like Sugriv. Sugriv had never offended Vali. Always he had served Vali very faithfully. He was a younger brother, he was the right-hand man, he was assistant, minister of Vali, always serving his brother. So when there is a suspicion that he has done something wrong, he had ulterior motives, because of his unblemished track record, we should give a patient hearing. We should discuss, we should communicate, we should talk. And then if found guilty, we should punish it in an appropriate way. But Vali's problem was he did not clarify. He completely overlooked a lifelong, unblemished record of selfless service. And he wanted to kill Sugriv for a perceived mistake. It was not even a mistake, it was a perceived mistake or perceived crime. So that is very wrong. When a devotee, especially in our life, when a devotee otherwise is a pramanik devotee, is a faithful devotee, sincere devotee, and we see something is wrong, the devotee is doing something sinful or offensive, we should give benefit of doubt and we should discuss and try to find out the truth. And if a mistake is there, then rectification measures should be taken accordingly. But we have to give credit for an unblemished track record for a devotee. And Parishit Maharaj had an unblemished, perfect track record as a perfect king. He was as good as Yudhishthira Maharaj. There was practically Ram Rajya under the rule of Parishit Maharaj. Even Kali could not enter. So, a benefit of doubt should have been given to Parishit Maharaj, but Shringi did not do that in a very impulsive, trigger-happy way. Trigger-happy. A person who newly learns how to shoot a gun just wants to shoot for the sake of shooting. But a good marksman knows when not to shoot. A good surgeon knows when not to operate. A good Brahman knows when not to curse. So that is the thing. But Shringi was immature. And Parikshit Maharaj saw that now there is misbehavior amongst the exalted Brahmanas. That means it is Krishna's desire that Kali Yuga should start. Because Kali Yuga starts with the fall down of the Brahmanas. When does the body fall down? When the brain starts malfunctioning. Brain starts making wrong decisions. It's not the fault of the hands. It is not fault of the belly. It is not fault of the feet. It is the mind, the brain, intelligence. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. Ultimately, it is buddhi nashat pranashyati. And the buddhi of the society is the Brahmanas. When the Brahmanas become corrupt, when they fall down from the Brahminical standard, then the whole society crumbles and Kali Yuga comes. And Parishit Maharaj understood that this is the will of the Lord, so he did not retaliate. No pratikurvanti. He did not retaliate, even though he was cursed unjustly. He could have sought Krishna's protection. Krishna had protected him once in the womb, even without having asked. Mother asked, Parishit had not asked. But now Parishit could have asked that, please protect me from this undue, unfair curse. And Krishna could have protected. But he did not ask, because he understood it was Krishna's desire. Instead, he prepared himself to meet death very cheerfully and properly. Prabhupada writes. He prepared to meet death very cheerfully. Being fortunate, he got at least 7 days to prepare himself to meet death. And so he properly utilized the time in the association of Shukdev Goswami, the great saint and devotee of Lord Krishna. Perfection of life is to spend time in the association of more advanced devotees. His Holiness Kadamba Kananda Swami Maharaj, senior leaders and spiritual masters in our movement, beloved disciple of His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj. As we all know, he has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, colon cancer. And he has decided to spend his days in Vrindavan Dham. We were fortunate enough to have his darshan, attend his kirtans when we were in Vrindavan during Kartik. So very glorious decision to not leave Vrindavan. In that Bhakti Sangha Japa group discussion just a couple of days ago, we were reading the verse of Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati where he says that you worship Radha Murlidhar and Vrindavana Matyaja. Don't leave Vrindavan. Vrindavana Matyaja. Don't leave Vrindavan. So like that. Vrindavan is the most holiest of all holy places. Spiritually most powerful place. And why is it powerful? Why is Vrindavan a powerful place? What is so great about Vrindavan? Raise your hands. Why do we want to go to Vrindavan to die? Everybody wants to die in Vrindavan or Mayapur here? I hope so. I want to. Vrindavan, Mayapur are non-different. Absolutely non-different. Even Jagannath Puri. For us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, these three are the main abodes. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham, Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham, Shri Vrindavan Dham. We should die in the holy Dham if possible. Why? Why do we go to the Dham? Yes, Shama Kishori Mataji. What is there in the Dham? Where are you from, Mataji? New Jersey?
Yes.
So what is it in Vrindavan that is not there in New Jersey?
So right now I'm in Govardhan, Yamuna and Vrajraj, but it is the home of the Lord. It is the home of Shri Shri Radha Krishna. So that's why, we desire to leave our body there in the home of the Lord.
Mataji, I am not going to leave you until you give me the correct answer. This is good. Iha hai. Aage bolo raha hai. But tell me more. What is it in Vrindavan that you don't get in New Jersey? You don't get it in Atlanta. You don't get it anywhere. It is not the Raj. It is not Govardhan. It is not Yamuna.
Association of
Yes.
Bhagavad.
Yes. 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 You will not get so many sadhus in one place. You will not get so many sadhus in one place. Rarely, if there is sadhu sangha going on, you will find many maharajas, many great sincere devotees in one place. Otherwise, it is not possible anywhere in the world. And we are not just talking about ISKCON devotees, but there are so many powerful sadhus doing bhajan in Vrindavan Dham. Every corner, everywhere, there are so many Siddha Babajis who are doing bhajan. And they are so exalted. Such pure devotees. They are definitely going home back to Godhead in this life. Because they are sitting in Vrindavan and chanting the holy names of Radha and Krishna, doing bhajan in Vrindavan. Definitely they are going back to Godhead. Such pure devotees are there in Vrindavan, in one place. So yes, the temples are there, the Leela Sthalis are there, Giriraj Govardhan is there, Radha Kund, Sham Kund is there, Yamuna Rani is there, Vrajraj is there. Absolutely, yes. And these things are not available anywhere in the world. I totally agree. But we don't have the vision to see Vrajraj, to see Yamuna, to see Govardhan. We see plastic and garbage everywhere. We don't have the vision. But when we associate with sadhus, we hear their experience, how they have done bhajan, how they live. Like we've met one sadhu in Vrindavan. I told half the story the other day. He was telling that a sadhu should be like a dog. Why? You go to do madhukari, and he told example. There is a Sethji here, and he used to give a roti to me when I would do madhukari. And I would go to take the roti and he would say, "Hat! Bheek mangne aa gaya. Chalo, niklo yahan se. You beggar, out of here." And I would start going and I would go to the gate and he would call me back. "Maharaj, aajao. Maharaj, come, aajao. Ye lo, roti lo." Again, I would reach out for the roti and he would say, "Hat! Niklo yahan se. Kaam nahi karte. Hatta-katta sharir hai. You are healthy. Why you don't work? Why are you begging? Parasite. Out of here." Again, again he would call. "Maharaj, roti lo. Chalo, roti pao thodi." I would come again he would do, "Hat, niklo yahan se." And the Maharaj said that the sadhu who we were listening to said that, "Oh, I was not getting angry by Radharani's mercy." So this Sethji asked me third time, "Why you are not getting angry?" So the sadhu said that you are showing your nature and I am showing my nature. As a Sethji, you are showing your nature. You will give, you will not give. It's up to you. What can I say? I'm a beggar. But my nature should be like a dog. You give a dog a roti or you shoo the dog away. The dog will keep coming back again and again. No ego. Dog has no ego. He'll keep coming. Even you hit the dog with a stick, again you give a roti, the dog will come after some time. So sadhu should be like that. So the Sethji said, yes, very good. Very good. And I have to be like a monkey. Now look at the conversation between two Brajvasis. The Sethji also is a Brajvasi and the sadhu also is a Pakka Brajvasi. Sadhu is saying, I have to be like a dog. So no matter how much you do hut to me, kick me out, my job is to do Madhukari. And I will come. And whatever you give, I will take. If you don't give, I will starve. No problem. I will keep chanting Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam. And the Sethji said, I have to be like a monkey. So the sadhu asked, what do you mean you have to be like a monkey? He said, how does a monkey kill a snake? When a snake comes, the monkey attacks and kills the snake. But every few minutes, the monkey will pick up the dead snake and try to smell, try to touch, try to hear. Is the snake breathing? Is the snake still alive? If the snake is still alive, he's still dangerous. He may still bite with the fangs, poisonous fangs. So the monkey keeps checking. Is the snake alive? Is he moving? Is he breathing? Again throws down. Again he'll pick up. Again see, is the snake still alive, still breathing, still moving? Again throw down. The monkey will again and again check whether the snake is alive or not. And the sadhu said, as your well-wisher, I have to again and again check and make sure that the snake of your false ego is dead. Abhi kuch false ego baki hai kya? Is he getting angry when he's told to get out of the house? So I was testing you and you passed the test. Like a monkey tests the dead snake, I was testing to make sure your ego is dead or not. And I can say your ego is dead. Because you did not feel any experience, any anger. So this is the level of devotees. And they're chanting 3 lakh, 2 lakh, doing Govardhan Parikrama every day, Vrindavan Parikrama every day. So these are very wonderful sadhus that we should serve, we should hear from them, how they are doing their bhajan, and recharge our spiritual batteries and then come back to the world of ISKCON and do our services. Book distribution now. Today book distribution has started, December 1st. Marathon, distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. So we need to get our enthusiasm by going to the Holy Dham. So I was saying that His Holiness Kadambakaran Maharaj, it is such a glorious decision to do Akhanda Brajvas, to live in Vrindavan. That's a sure shot way to go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. There is no doubt. Anybody who dies in Vrindavan goes back to Godhead. Any devotee. So this is very wonderful. Verse 3 onwards, we will see next time. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Yes, Shama Kishore Mataji. Question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful class. I have 2 questions, Prabhuji. You mentioned that Radha and Krishna, in Vrindavan, there's no Aishwarya in the sense they were not married. But I have actually visited the place where it said that Lord Brahma himself got them married.
Yeah,
So,
Bhandi Road.
yes. So how do you
So
say
that is Keli. That is a Keli pastime. It's like a fun pastime. They're not actually married. They never lived in the same house, like husband and wife. No. Like Rukmini and Dwarkadish, they never lived. They never had children. No. So that marriage pastime is there because Radha and Krishna are always together. They're always one. Radha, Krishna, Sita, Ram. They're always the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. So that marriage is there. Definitely, it's a fact. It's a truth. But it is a Keli. It's a playful pastime. Keli Leela. It's a playful pastime. It is not that really Radha and Krishna have Swakiya Bhav, their husband and wife. No. But so many times they got married. Even Lalita Sakhi got them married, Brahmaji got them married. Actually, in the Nikunja, everyday marriage takes place between Radha and Krishna. Jiva Goswami also has described in Gopal Champu. So, and there are some sampradayas, they celebrate Radha and Krishna's wedding every day. The Ashtakali Leela, every day it has Radha and Krishna's. Some gopis, sakhis, they are getting Radha and Krishna married. There is Nauka Vihar Leela every day. There is Jhulan every day. There is the playful pastime of them getting married every day. Like that. So, but this is all playful pastimes. In reality, Radha and Krishna, they have a Parakiya Bhav. That is the Gaudiya Siddhanta. There is a Parakiya Bhav. Jaya Jayojvala Rasa, Sarva Rasa Sar, Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajete Prachar. So, understand that marriage, Leela, to be truth, but it is at the same time a playful pastime.
Okay.
It is not that after that marriage, Radha and Krishna started living together. Not like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And in the purport of this last text that we read, it said that he prepared himself to meet death very cheerfully and very properly. So he was ready to accept the death, but I know his son Janmejaya later on organized this Sarpa Satra in which he called all the snakes of the world to be killed. So why did he direct his anger towards the snakes when his father had accepted the fate? I mean, the fault was not of the snake, it was of this Brahmana who cursed, right?
Yeah, it was there, but Takshak was the immediate cause of the death. There is immediate cause, there is instrumental cause, and there is ultimate cause. Ultimate cause is Krishna. So, but anyway, so just like Rupa Sanatan Goswami, they did not want to fight with the Digvijay Pandit, they didn't want to argue. So they signed on the Vijay Patra. Okay. You won, we lost. But when Srila Jiva Goswami saw that, he fought for the prestige of his Gurudev. So similarly, Parishit Maharaj accepted as his karma. Okay, I have to die. It's Krishna's desire, no problem. But the son Janamejaya did not accept because he wanted to take revenge for his father. And that is the Kshatriya spirit. A Kshatriya cannot be like a renunciate. No, Kshatriya is supposed to act like that. So it was unjust how Parishit Maharaj was killed. So Janamejaya wanted to avenge the death of his father. Even Dhruv Maharaj, who was a pure devotee, when his half-brother Uttam was killed by the Yaksha, what did Dhruv Maharaj do? He got on his chariot, took his bow and arrow and went after them and killed so many of them. Of course, then Manu Maharaj came and chastised Dhruv Maharaj to stop. That is there, but the initial response was justified. That is a Kshatriya way of life. They want to avenge unfair activities, unfair death of a family member. So that's why. It was Janamajaya's duty to go after the immediate cause, that is Takshak. And because he was hiding under Indra's protection, is described in 12th Canto. So then so many snakes had to be put. But then of course he was stopped. Janamejaya was stopped. Higher authorities came and he stopped the yajna, accepted the fact. And Takshak did not die. Nor did Shringi. Shringi did not require punishment, Mataji, because it was like a childish mistake. What to do? And Shringi was crying. He regretted his mistake. So why punish? So was Shamik Rishi. Both were regretting. Shringi was crying so much, knowing that he has displeased his father and made a big mistake, big blunder. So when somebody is repentful, there is no need to punish. And Takshak deserved at least some scare for what he did.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. May I ask one more question, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mami.
So you mentioned that when we go to Vrindavan, it is to associate with the Mahabhagavats.
Yes.
But how do you find such people and how do you take their association? Because I have been to Vrindavan several times and it's mostly, just visiting the pastime places. Like I never came across such. How do you recognize such devotees and, Brajvasis, and how do you associate with them?
Next time you go to Vrindavan, you can ask.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes.
You have to be careful. We cannot associate with just anybody. But our parampara is such that there is always association. Srila Prabhupada had very close association with so many Babajis. If you read Mula Prakriti Mataji's book, Srila Prabhupada, Friend to All, there are so many Brijvasis with whom Prabhupada had intimate, close friendship. And also with Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, with Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, Srila Narayan Maharaj, and the Radharaman temple, Radha Damodar temple adhikaris, Prabhupada had very good relationships. And even in our sampradaya, even in our current Guru Varga, we see our Guru Varga, they have so many nice relationships. When we went for the yatra of His Holiness Indradhamma Swami Maharaj, practically every yatra you see the photographs. At least one Brajvasi friend with Srila Indradhamma Swami Maharaj. Srila Shachinandan Swami Maharaj also. Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj also. They have so many friends in Vrindavan, so many sadhus of other sampradayas. See, that is why I love Bhaktamal. You know why I love Bhaktamal? Because there is no discrimination of any sampradaya. All 4 sampradaya sadhus are glorified in that book. There are Shri Vaishnavas who are glorified. There is our Rup Sanatan Raghunath Goswamis are glorified. There are devotees of the Nimbarke Sampradaya who are glorified. There are devotees of the Rudra Sampradaya, Shripad Vallabhacharya Sampradaya, they are glorified. All the devotees from different Sampradayas, they are glorified in Bhaktamal. So that's why that book is very dear to my heart. Because actually, all devotees, regardless of the institution, regardless of the Sampradaya, they are meant to be loved. Krishna says, Sadhavo Hridayam Mayam. Sadhus are in my heart. It doesn't discriminate based on Sampradaya. So we should have this love. I learned from my Gurudev also. If you see Journey Home, Maharaj associated with the Gaudiya Math devotees, with Ghanshyam Baba, with Ramesh Babaji Maharaj of Varsana. So nice, and learned something from everyone. But the Nishtha is with Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj surrendered to only one person, Srila Prabhupada. So we are surrendered only to Srila Prabhupada. We serve only Srila Prabhupada's movement. But there are sincere devotees everywhere. And why not learn from them? Why not gain from them? And too much, if we have institutional, or we are fanatic about the institutional boundaries, there is a risk of committing Vaishnava Aparadha. So we have to be careful. We have to guard against that. On the other hand, if we are too loose in our association, just we associate with anybody, then we will become contaminated. So therefore, one should take guidance from devotees and associate with sadhus that are authorized by our Guru Varga. That is the way. If some sadhu is not authorized by our Guru Varga, then they may be sadhus, we respect them from a distance, but we don't associate with them. When Jagadananda Pandit came from Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave instructions. He said, you stay with Sanatana Goswami all the time. Don't leave his association. And as far as the Brajvasis are concerned, they have a different mood of devotion. So you respect them from a distance, but don't associate with them closely. So this type of guidance is required. Who to associate with, who not to associate. So like that. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
But it is very important to associate with sadhus. In ISKCON and in the Dham also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so there are no other questions. We can stop here. Let me quickly look at the chat box. Make sure I didn't miss. Okay, so nothing there. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada.